It's the Friday evening edition of the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast. It's weather for weather geeks as we get set for the weekend. It's been a busy week of weather in eastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania, and the weekend will be unsettled. Now, we're probably done with accumulating snow in most spots for the next several days, but a little frozen precipitation could pose a few challenges as we head into Saturday night and Sunday. We'll get to that in a second. First, a quick review of where we've been as far as the snow department goes so far this month. We've only had one day so far in February with no measurable snowfall at the Youngstown Warren Airport. That was last Saturday. Every other day has had at least a little bit. We had 0.6 officially in Vienna at the airport today, just enough to make things rather slick for the first half of the day. You know, we talked about, don't worry too much about the numbers here, focus on the impacts. And yeah, it was pretty slippery out there for a few hours this morning. You'll see that on our time lapse here from Boardman. We're looking east towards Poland here along 224, and yeah, half an inch to 3/4 of an inch or so of snow. Made things pretty slick for rush hour this morning, particularly on the side roads. By midday, pretty much just wet as temperatures rose and the snow tapered off. Now, I'm recording this at about 7:30 in the evening, and it's 20 degrees warmer than the same time last evening. It's been a big change. The airport plummeted to 2 degrees just after midnight last night, colder than I thought it would be. But we had enough clearing of the sky with a calm wind and fresh snow on the ground that temperatures cratered. But this afternoon actually wasn't bad. We got into the lower 40s in a lot of spots. And again, about a 20-degree difference from this time yesterday. All right, I forgot to update this graphic, but I can tell you that the ice cover on Lake Erie is still way up there in the 90% range and probably at its seasonal peak now. Probably get some thawing of the ice over the next several days. All right, back here in the present, and actually a little bit of the past here, because this is a 12-hour radar loop showing the snow pushing away this morning and leaving us with a largely dry afternoon and evening. This produced a lot of snow in Chicago and Detroit, and even as far south as far northwest Ohio around the Toledo area. All right, let's talk about the weekend, what we have coming our way. Now, some forecast challenges here. It's all about getting the temperature profile of the atmosphere right, not only, of course, here at the ground, but heading up a couple of thousand or several thousand feet. What are the temperatures going to be doing at all those levels? And that determines what kind of precipitation we're going to see. The model here, this is our in-house model, trying to spit out a little snow tomorrow. Right around midday. Not sure if I buy this. I could see where maybe there's a few snowflakes in our northern viewing area, but generally speaking, drizzle, I think, is our predominant precipitation type during the course of the day tomorrow. See this kind of pink color across the region then as we go into the late afternoon into the evening. Temperatures will be dropping. Probably below freezing in most spots. Maybe the exception will be southeastern Columbiana County, but for the most part, we're going to drop below freezing tomorrow night, and the air above our heads will be above freezing, and any precipitation that falls is likely to fall in the form of rain, and with temperatures below freezing at the ground, that means freezing rain or freezing drizzle. It's going to be real light, though. This isn't an ice storm. I generally, in general, don't think this is a real big deal, but that chance for a little light freezing rain, freezing drizzle will continue into Sunday morning and through the midday hours perhaps as well. Probably get a little lull Sunday afternoon, but by Sunday evening the cold air is pushing back in, not only here at the ground but upstairs as well. So I think the entire atmospheric column will be cold enough for probably just a little bit of snow at the very end of the day Sunday. Probably little or no accumulation with that, and then high pressure will build in and give us a fairly sunny day coming up on Monday. When we talk about ice accretion on surfaces, kind of the magic number is generally around 1/4 of an inch for a lot of problems. Now, once you're up to 1/10 of an inch, there can be some slick surfaces here and there, stoops and sidewalks. You might have to, scrape your windshield a little bit. Once we get closer to 1/4 of an inch, certainly the bridges become slippery, and all the roads become real difficult once we get above 1/4 of an inch worth of ice. We rarely get up to this level in our region, around 1/4 of an inch. It's uncommon around here. It happens once in a blue moon, but again, pretty uncommon. Here's our modeling. The trend here has been down over the last few runs of the modeling. As far as ice accretion, some of our models are hardly spitting out any at all. Even if we get 1/10 of an inch of accretion, this is, minimal problems, I think. Here's a different way to look at it. The odds of 1/10 of an inch worth of ice, highest in our western viewing area, but no one's going to get 1/4 of an inch out of this. So could things be a little slick on some surfaces late Saturday night, Sunday morning? Yes. Is it an ice storm? No. Do I expect a huge problem? No. But use caution. if you're out and about Saturday night and heading into the first half of the day on Sunday. The longer range, some good news here. We've been talking about this on Weather Geeks for quite a while now. That overall the pattern will be fairly mild during the middle and latter portions of February. That's still on track. The 8 to 14 day outlook shows a good chance of warmer than average temperatures, and it looks unsettled. So we may not be able to enjoy this all that much. And this begins really as early as this next work week. It's going to be pretty mild. We'll get into the 40s, but I think we're going to get rained on a few times. It's not like it's going to be really mild and sunny all the time. Usually in February, if it gets mild, chances are, you've got some rain to contend with, and pretty good chance of above average precipitation here in the longer range as well. Hope you have a good weekend, everyone. Thanks for watching Weather for Weather Geeks all week this week. We've really had a lot to talk about this week, and this is the video to come to when you really need a lot of detail in your weather forecast. I'll be back here on Monday. I'll check in from time to time as needed over the weekend. Have a great Friday night, and again, I'll see you back here on Monday.